In 2021, Tommy Robinson lost a libel case to Jamal, a young Syrian refugee. An incident between two schoolchildren drew intense media attention after videos began circulating showing what appeared to be a Syrian boy being attacked by a white classmate. The media quickly seized on this, framing it as a racially motivated assault against an innocent refugee. Hearing a different version of events from local sources, Tommy Robinson publicly defended the white student, Bailey, suggesting that Jamal, the Syrian migrant, was actually the aggressor. Despite presenting substantial evidence, Tommy lost the case and faced bankruptcy. The court further issued an injunction preventing him from ever releasing his documentary on the subject. Fast forward to 2023. An American media organisation, Mice Media, published the banned documentary. Realising that the probability of him going to prison was high, Tommy showcased the film at a demonstration on the 27th of July, projecting it on a massive screen at Trafalgar Square. Now he's facing 2 counts of violating the court injunction for publicly sharing the banned documentary, Silenced, and his trial was at Woolwich Crown Court, adjacent to HMP Belmarsh, often regarded as the UK's Guantanamo Bay. One of our journalists attended the court proceedings, and another covered the event from the outside. So here's the thing now, I've been kicked out. What they say is that you need an accredited press pass. Now I have a boss who was on his way with an accredited press pass. He was literally here about 5 minutes ago, but they sent him around. So parking there, you need a pre-approved press card. So if you're BBC, Telegraph, whatever, you can go in. But if you work for V Populi Media, Vox Populi, you can't. So he's turned around, he's parking up there, he'll be going in a second. But what they've also done, as you can see there's a bunch of Tommy supporters. And they're not allowed into the court. The reason they're not allowed in is because apparently there's size constraints. Now the way it's meant to work in an open court system. And the reason it's open court is to make sure that the judge is held to account. You are there, You're there watching the judge, making sure he's not abusing his power. That's why we have an open court system in this country. It's not a closed court. And the way it works is that anyone can go into the courtroom, and then once that courtroom is filled, they open up another courtroom with a screen for you to watch it. And then they open up another courtroom. And they keep opening up courtrooms. And when they run out, they have a link. That's how it's meant to work in this country. That's how it's meant to work, yeah? But unfortunately, it's only the BBC, it's only the Telegraph, it's only the mainstream media outlets that are allowed in there to film. Only them. But they're not the ones who told you the truth about Jamal, about Bailey. They're not the ones who told you the truth about that. It was Tommy. Tommy who's going to prison. Tommy who hasn't got an accredited press pass. Tommy who's a citizen journalist. And yet he told the truth when countless others lied. Interestingly, I later found out there were 8 available seats in the public gallery. I wonder why they stopped allowing people into the courtroom. So obviously Tommy now, he's in that court, he's actually been sent here today, and he's been charged with contempt of court, and this is for showing his banned documentary Silence. Now, I mean, what do you think about all of this, first of all?
I think it's absolutely disgusting. He shouldn't be here in the first place. All he was trying to do is show the world the truth about things, and because he's re-showed the video, that was already kind of out there anyway, so people could see it, and he's now being locked up for it, and potentially could get 4 years.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely disgusting, mate. All they're trying to do is just pull Tommy down every single time. Every corner he takes, do you know what I mean? They're just pulling him back, pulling him down, dragging him down. And I think it's wrong, mate. It's just disgusting.
It's the biggest joke ever, and it's very, very sad, you know. I've never once ever heard Tommy say one racist thing ever. He's a patriot, he loves this country, he stands up for truth, and his documentary was brilliant. I watched it, and it's an embarrassment to the establishment because it exposes the web of lies. The establishment ruined that white boy's life. They ruined his life, they destroyed his life for no good reason, because the documentary exposes what a terrorist that little kid was.
I don't think he should be going to jail for it. It's showing the UK seriously what the problem is within what's going on behind the governments, the hiding of the grooming gangs, from police involvement to social services involvement that he's exposing. It's all right, it's all true, and you don't get none of them mainstream media, BBC, ITV, Channel 4, you don't get none of them doing what Tommy's doing, which more people need to do what Tommy's doing, and coming forward, exposing the truths behind all the corruption.
Well, we know that the whole judicial system and the establishment are against Tommy because of the followers he's got. The labels are, the racist, the fascist and all this nonsense, people who actually look at some of the videos, any of the videos he's made, will understand he's no more fake racist than me or you.
What I find interesting is that you and me, who are citizen journalists, we aren't allowed in there. But it wasn't them who told the truth about Bailey or Jamel. It was Tommy. He was a citizen journalist. It was citizen journalists that told the truth about Bailey.
Journalism that, well, I must admit the Times really broke the story to start with, but the grooming gangs, but Tommy had a lot of follow through on that. Yeah. And the rest of the press did not want to know. You know, it was sort of spiked all the time, and it's stories that it really does annoy me. In fact, the press are losing a lot of respect. They're losing a lot of kudos. Minute by minute, day by day. I don't see how they can survive unless they actually do go back to their root and start telling the truth. The trouble is that they've all been captured by woke. They've all been captured by woke. Everything must be woke. We must always sort of obey the woke mantra.
Do you think that mainstream media is done, and do you think citizen journalism now is the way forwards?
100%. No one trusts the mainstream media anymore. People go to citizen journalists to get the truth. The BBC, the CNN, all of them are so biased. No one trusts them anymore. It's rubbish.
Absolutely, I fully agree with you, mate. It's disgusting. You guys should be in there. Well, yeah, because we support Tommy, we're not allowed in there. We're having to stay away. But yeah, the people that oppose Tommy and don't like Tommy and report the bad stuff and report the stuff that is untrue about Tommy, they're all allowed in, like you say. And it's wrong, mate. It's absolutely disgusting. I'm sick and tired of it. I've followed Tommy Robinson since the EDL days.
Yeah, definitely. Citizen journalism. If it weren't for the citizen doing the journalism, we wouldn't know the truth of what's going on.
After spending a bit of time outside doing interviews, a lefty turned up to call all Tommy supporters
white supremacists, and he is the reason for all of this outrage. He is the reason.
How was he a white supremacist? What's he said?
The hatred that he caused with the riots, putting out the tweet that it was the immigrant when it wasn't.
He never put out a tweet. Cut the tweet. No, he didn't. That was Nigel Farage. That was Nigel Farage.
Plenty of people said it, but Tommy was one of the first.
No, he wasn't. He didn't. He never said it.
That's fine.
He never said it.
He did say it. He's admitted.
Right. But how's he a white supremacist?
He said it.
No, he hasn't. He admitted that he didn't say it.
Wait, he's not a white supremacist.
He is a white supremacist.
No, he ain't.
Why?
He leads this country.
Okay.
The reason he's doing
He's a white supremastist.
How's he a white supremacist?
The only thing he is focused on is hatred towards Muslims.
Right, Muslim.
Don't touch me.
Muslim.
Do not touch me.
What?
Do not touch me.
Tommy's leading us.
That's what you
to get
people
this
have got to
country
resort
back.
to.
White
That
people
is
can be
exactly
Muslims.
what
You can get white Muslims.
Fine. He's still a supremacist.
White
Do you
supremacist
see
or
him
supremacist?
focusing-
Which one?
Do you see him focusing on grooming gangs, or do you see him focusing on Muslims?
Well, is mostly Islamic
hates
grooming
them.
gangs?
Oh, there you go.
Thanks,
There
mate.
you go. Perfect.
No, he hates Islam. He
hates Islam.
That's perfect.
You can hate an ideology. Do you hate Nazis? Do you hate Nazis?
No, I hate Tommy Robinson.
Oh, so you hate Tommy Robinson?
Stephen Yaxley
So you
Leonard.
can hate a person, but he can't.
Mindless football thug. That's calm. That's calm.
Tommy Robinson.
This woman doesn't know what she's on about.
She's sent in. Yeah.
Of course.
You guys up.
Apparently it was Tommy. Apparently it was Tommy that said it was an immigrant. It wasn't Tommy, it was Nigel Farage. Tommy actually didn't say anything.
What's his real name? Tell me his real name.
Oh my god, no one knows! No one knows this, right? His real name is Stephen Yaxley Lennon. I'm shocked.
Because I'm a brown lady, she asked me why you support Tommy. And I said, he's right. And she's upset with me. She said, are you Muslim? I said, no, I'm not Muslim. If you're not Muslim, then why you don't against Tommy? Why you support Tommy? So I'm brown, I support Tommy, and she have an issue why I support Tommy. Wow.
It's mad, isn't it? It's a white person telling a black person she should be offended. Not black, so brown. At one point during the debate, she decided to hit my phone out of my hand.
He's telling me to read my book like I'm a Muslim. That's how ignorant these people are.
How ignorant? Yeah, but you're refusing to read the Quran, and yet you're saying, no, it's definitely nothing in the Quran that says that.
We weren't even talking about that. It's nice that you popped in for your little views, but that's not what we were talking about.
No. You said... Get the police. Look at this. Get the police. Get her out of here. I reported this to the police, asking for her to be moved, but stated I did not want her arrested for assault.
Literally just just have a chat, mate.
A lot easier, that's all.
Right, so that woman there is here to agitate, right? You've got all the cameras on. You know that she's there calling everyone a white supremacist because we support Tommy Robinson or whatever. And I've been filming, she's been filming as well, to be fair. You know, I'm not there to agitate. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, and if you're, on some of the videos you can see that I'm quite calm and I'm being collected, yeah? I'm not...
And she told me to fuck off.
But, what was it? So I had the phone in my hand, she went to she knocked the phone out of my hand, right, with force, yeah? Now that phone is an extension of my arm, so that's classed as assault, yeah? So that woman there, the one with purple hair, I don't want to arrest her or anything, but if she could just leave, that's all I'm asking.
Just to escort her out. I think my colleague is having a chat with her about that now at the moment. Can we just grab your
some
basic details from
yourself? Yeah, of course you can.
Unfortunately, when I walked away to give my new address to police, my cameraman didn't follow, and so we missed the bit where they told me off for having my phone too close to her face. However, this was confirmed by the woman on TikTok, who said in a long message that the police saw the video and agreed I did nothing wrong, as I had multiple people in my face advancing towards me. She also said in a private message to my girlfriend, "I've sent the video with my point of view. If you're close enough to my face that my hand can knock your phone out of your hand, you're too close." Police agreed. I wonder if she would have had the same energy if I knocked her out, like I would have done if she had been a bloke. In fact, the only reason she hit my phone in the first place was because I'm a man.
Well, you felt threatened with a phone? Yes, I did, because he's male.
Now look at these two other angles, and ask yourself, who is in the wrong here?
You're telling me to read my book like I'm a Muslim. That's how ignorant these people are.
How ignorant? Yeah, but you're refusing to read the Quran, and yet you're saying, no, it's definitely nothing in the Quran that says that.
We weren't even talking about that. It's nice that you popped in for your little views, but that's not what we were talking
Oh,
about.
no. You said... Police. Look at this. Get the police. Get her out of here.
Like I'm a Muslim. That's how ignorant these people are. They don't even know what they're talking about.
To read the Quran, and yet you're saying no, it's definitely nothing in the Quran that says.
I'm not. We weren't even talking about that. It's nice that you popped in for your little views, but that's not what we were talking about.
You said.
Did I get arrested? Or do they not care about you people?
While filming, we found out that Tommy had pled guilty, and that his legal team was arguing for a 33% reduction in his sentence. Noticing that the likelihood of him going to prison was increasing, emotions were running high outside.
No, he's not guilty. He done nothing wrong. He just showed the people truth. He's helping the country. He loves his country. He loves his own people. It's not acceptable if he's going to be prison. And prison is not safe for him. We know, we are here today, everyone. There is a disabled people. I'm here for a broken leg because if they send him to prison, he's not safe.
And I can see you seem quite upset as well. He's pled guilty. They're arguing for a 33% reduction in his sentencing. I mean, I can see you're upset about it. I mean, how do you feel at the moment?
The guy is a good man. He is a truly good man that's got the interest of this country in his heart. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. And he has looked after the people of this country. He's looked after this country. And he deserves our admiration. He should not be in there, and he should not be vilified for telling the truth. So please tell me he's not been sentenced for a long time. Please, I don't want that. He's not safe in prison. He won't come out alive.
He's not going to come out. We know that. And the news is coming, he done suicide or he had a heart attack like a Peter.
Yeah,
no. We are still in the pain. Peter is gone. And now Tommy, no, he's not going to be prison.
Disappointed that he's pled guilty, but hopefully he can come out with us. Do you know what I mean? The most important thing is that he comes home. I'm worried about him dying in there. He goes in there, he could die. Do you know what I mean? It's not safe for him in there. Most important thing for me is that he comes out as soon as possible. So whether he pleads guilty or not, it's a bit disappointing, but like I said, the main thing comes out alive.
Well, I'm extremely annoyed because we all know that the whole thing's a fit-up, It's coming down from Starmer, who's telling the CPS what to do, he's telling the judges what to do, and him, the Home Secretary, and the Mayor of London are telling the police what to do. Basically, that's my point of view on it. The whole thing is corrupt. We're living under a bloody communist dictatorship at the moment, and it's quite frightening. That's the situation, and these people are sort of pretending that you know, everything's fine and all the rest of it. We know exactly what you're doing, Starmer, exactly what you're doing. You're an extremely nasty communist dictator, and we know what you're doing. Everyone knows what you're doing, and if you think you're going to shut everybody up, then that's just not going to happen, mate. You're in Great Britain now. You want to go to Russia if you want to shut everybody up.
Broken-hearted, seriously broken-hearted if that happens.
I mean, I suppose the initial thing at the moment is relief, like when they said about, you know, the 2-year sentence. I was very worried that there was obviously going to be precedent set on the protest law as well, so I'm glad, well, obviously we're only going by the tweets at the moment, but I'm glad to see that at the moment hasn't happened. As I said to you earlier, I think it's really important, whatever you think, that you know, that people were here, especially like you guys, the independent media, covering this today. I've said to a few people, you know, I travelled up here, I drove up here 2.5 hours, I listened to all of the news stations on the way up here, didn't hear one thing about this trial today, so I think it's really important that you guys are here covering it. I really appreciate that, and I think, like I said, you know, even if you don't agree with everything that Tommy said, you know, it's important that it was important for me as a survivor of child abuse to be here today and to say to people, look, this, like I said, you might not agree with everything Tommy says, but this is an important trial today if you believe in free speech. So that's where I'm at with it. As I said, initial relief. Hopefully he'll be able to go back to his family today, which is the main thing for any man, really. You know, we just want to be at home with our children. So I hope he gets that today, and yeah, fingers crossed.
No one should have to go through this. Guessing another concerned grandfather, worrying what's going to happen in the future regarding his grandkids. Upsetting.
Cheers for your support, all, yeah? 9 months and we go back to work. Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Any update, guys? Got your back, Tommy. What did you get? 18 months, guys.
18 months.
18 months.
Right, yeah, so no, basically the reduction that he applied was 10% because he entered the plea today as a first trial date. The aggravating factors was basically he considered the fact that he made an extra inch. The Crown argued that Tommy made an extra intro that stated that he knew he's going to go to prison for it. It's an indication of his defiance against the court order. So those are aggravating factors. So the main thing they considered was they didn't consider the harm they considered is the breakdown of the rule of law because of the breach of the injunction, as opposed to any harm that's caused to the Syrian refugee boy, because those are prior to that. So they didn't consider any of those.
So they didn't consider there was any harm caused to an actual person?
Technically, no. It's the rule of law. That's the only thing they really considered. Yes. Yeah.
Was it? Do you think it was a fair trial?
Well, to be fair, the fact that he actually entered, there were 2 applications for the contempt of court proceedings, and he's essentially pleaded guilty and accepted them both today in the morning before we even enter the courtroom. So therefore, it's just more of a sentencing. He basically already pleaded, so he wasn't found guilty because he pleaded guilty.
And have they agreed to put him in solitary confinement?
I don't know. I think the prison system is going to deal with that, but they did consider the trauma that he's had as well from his previous one. Because there was a psychiatric assessment saying he had nightmares, etc. Because obviously he has to put in high security, even though he's technically category D because he's a civil case.
How do you feel about the sentencing, mate?
He should have been set free. He's obviously a political prisoner. There's people who have said a lot worse and got off with a lot worse, especially those in Parliament.
I mean, pedophiles sometimes get less. I mean, most of them get suspended sentences these days.
And they get let off early, don't they? Look at the ones they release. One of them raped a girl within about 6 hours of being released, one of that first lot of release. So it's, you know, it is what it is. You know, it's not just 2-tier, they've got many tiers. It just depends how much you upset them and how much they jump on you. That's all it is.
Based on his wording.
But plus he's working class. Even Douglas Murray pointed that out. Douglas Murray admitted he's got a lot more freedoms than Tommy because Tommy is working class and they can't take it from the working class because they're all, you know, they're all so privileged.
We're gutted.
Totally gutted. 100%.
The man told the truth. The man of the people told the truth. We know it's the truth. Everyone knows it's the truth. They know it's the truth. Yet they're punishing him.
Yeah, it's the government, isn't it?
It's an upsetting day for everyone, man.
Yeah, it is, man. It is. It you know, it could have been a lot worse. I think Tommy was expecting worse. 18 months. Most likely he'll do 9 is what I'm told. I'm not as familiar with your court system as I am mine, but 18 do 9. You know, it could have been a longer sentence, but the fact is it shouldn't be a sentence at all. The guy is, your freedom of speech is dead in the UK. It's so sad to say that, but it really is. You just had a guy who had risked his freedom to give the public the truth. The judge in the case, I just came out of the courtroom. He had seen the movie Silent, so he knows exactly. He knows the evidence that's there. He never disputed the evidence in the film either, and he even alluded to the fact that he knew Tommy was a journalist and all these things. But still, they thought it was more important that the Tommy hide the public from the truth and obey an injunction from a court, an order that was really, in my opinion, it was just it's a bad judgment on the judge who said after seeing 7 or 8 witnesses come in to testify against this Syrian kid, he says that all those witnesses are lying and the Syrian kid's the only one telling the truth.
Well done, guys.
A few words to say about the imprisonment of Tommy Robinson.
Obviously, I can't comment on the case and the particulars, but what I do know is that we now have the blood of Peter Lynch is on Keir Starmer's hands, Lucy Connolly and Wayne Rourke. These are all people that have received incredibly harsh sentences for words, not actions. The threat of violent disorder is always used for the prosecution to achieve their aim.
So today I'm standing outside Woolwich Crown Court, which is right next to Belmarsh Prison. And just over an hour ago, Tommy Robinson pled guilty to 2 counts of contempt of court, mostly for breaching his injunction against releasing a banned documentary called Silenced. In this film, he shows that the headlines claiming that a Syrian refugee was the victim of racial abuse and racial attacks by a white kid was false. In this documentary, he shows how the media, the politicians, and the establishment work together to target this white kid called Bailey and paint a narrative that portrayed the Syrian refugee as a victim when he wasn't. I've been speaking to people today, and there's been a protest outside there, and the emotions were running kind of high. You know, I mean, he's been sentenced to 18 months and he's set to face 9 in prison. In that prison there. Tommy Robinson has been moved from HMP Belmarsh to HMP Woodhill. In Belmarsh, he was on a secure wing with a TV, exercise equipment, 8 visitations a month, and was entirely safe. So this move doesn't make sense. In Woodhill, he's been put on the block, which is a single-person cell where he leaves once a day to collect food from a kitchen that is cooked by inmates. His family can't bring in goodie bags for him, which is different to how he was treated in Belmarsh. When he was in a similar situation before, he had to live on 1 tin of tuna a day, as majority Islamic inmates might have put in poison in his food. Let's not forget the abundance of negligence concerns within the prison as well.